Hey Toy fans, I'm D21Beast and welcome back to my figure review series here on my YouTube channel, and today we're once again looking at those Marvel Superhero Masters figures released by Hasbro. Before you, we've got the Agent Venom figure released in 2015. Now if you're not familiar with Marvel Superhero Masters and what they're all about, they're a toy line that's designed to allow you to pull your figure apart at the joints and reattach them with other figures in the line, basically creating your own mashed up homemade superhero or supervillain. Recently, you may have seen the review I did of the Marvel Legends Agent Venom figure, and I definitely wanted to check out the Masters version of that figure as well. I'm a big fan of the character from the comics. So let's go ahead and get this thing started by taking a look at the packaging for this figure. As you come down the front of this box, you do have a window box packaging that does house this Agent Venom figure inside. You've got the name for the figure off to the right, and on the left-hand side, you do have an image of a mashed up superhero. You then have the logo for Marvel Superhero Masters there towards the bottom. And as we flip this package around, coming down the back of the box, you once again have that Marvel Superhero Masters logo in the upper left. You've got an image of Agent Venom mashed up with a bunch of different superheroes there towards the center. On the right-hand side, you have all the other figures available in this wave. And it's worth noting that just like the Wolverine figure, there is no sort of jokey comment from this masher on the back of the box. Alright guys, so that's the packaging. What say we get Agent Venom out of the box and see what this masher is all about. Alright toy fans, here we have Masters Agent Venom out of the box, and immediately I like the look of this figure quite a bit. He's got some very clean white paint here on the chest and on the legs. He's even got a belt painted around the waist. Sculpting wise though, he is a bit familiar. He's got the same torso as the Marvel Now Masters Iron Man figure, as well as the same shoulder joints and the same upper leg joints. I actually don't have a problem with that, especially considering the recently released disappointing Wolverine figure, where they've decided to change the shoulder joints on Masters now to where they only rotate and they can't bend outward. With this Iron Man figure, we had a shoulder joint that actually bent out that far and down just like that. So we have that same articulation here on the Masters Venom figure. So as long as they keep reusing the older Masters pieces, I'm going to be okay with that because it means we get a better figure and better articulation. But outside of the reused Iron Man pieces, we do have some originally sculpted arm pieces for this Venom figure. He's got some spikes here on sort of a gauntlet piece on the arm. He's also got this giant wrist-mounted gun. And I guess they did this because this line is aimed at younger audiences, and they probably didn't want to give this Venom a bunch of handguns. So it's kind of an interesting addition. I don't know that I like it a whole lot, but, you know, I guess it's kind of fun. But then we have the head sculpt here, which is actually done very nicely. It's got some very clean paints around the eyes. And then coming down, we've also got this pretty interesting sort of lower leg piece. It's got spikes on pretty much all sides of it, and it just kind of maintains a whole spiky armored Agent Venom look. Now, there are no accessories for this Agent Venom figure, so let's just go ahead and look at articulation. The head will actually bend down, not so much. The sculpting of the chest kind of gets in the way, but it will bend back pretty nicely. It does rotate all the way around. He's got a shoulder joint that bends all the way around. It bends up and out from the body that far, as well as having a single jointed elbow that rotates all the way around and then bends at 90 degrees. There's no finger or wrist articulation. He has the same articulation here on the other side. The gun actually doesn't hinder any of the movement that we have on the other arm. And then he has a ball jointed hip that does bend forward that far, bend back very far, out from the body pretty nicely. It does rotate at the ball joint here at the hip, and then he's got a single joint here at the knee that bends down and then rotates all the way around. And that actually completes the articulation for this figure. So again, better than we saw with the recently released Wolverine, but pretty standard for Masters. But what was actually pretty standard for Master figures up until 2015. Alright toy fans, so if this happens to be your first Masters review and you don't know what these toys are all about, let me go ahead and show you. Before you, we've got Masters Iron Man, Masters Wolverine, and Masters Iceman, and then of course the Masters Agent Venom figure. And what Masters allow you to do is to separate your figure at the neck joint, the elbow joint, the hip joint, and the knee joint, and combine them with other figures in the wave. Let's go ahead and start by disassembling Agent Venom. Let's go ahead and pull off the head, the arms on both sides here, and the legs, and then let's go ahead and do something crazy. Let's go ahead and give him Iceman's head. And then I actually kind of like Iceman's arms, so let's go ahead and do that as well. We'll just go ahead and plug these in here to the shoulder joints. And where's the other hand here? There we go. And then I think I want to have Iceman, or my Iceman Venom here, with some jean legs. So we'll go ahead and put these on here, these denim pieces for the Wolverine figure. And we just plug them on just like this. And you know what? Let's just go ahead, ignore that we have the Iron Man figure all together, and let's just put these Iceman legs on the Master figure. So as you can see here, you can basically customize and make your own sort of mashed up hero or villain. And of course, the more figures that you have available from this toy line, the more options you're going to have to make your own homemade mashed up superhero or villain. Height-wise, we can see that Masters Agent Venom does stand just a little bit under 6.5 inches tall. For some size comparison, here we have Masters Agent Venom once again compared to the Masters Marvel Now Iron Man figure. And here he is compared to the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Agent Venom figure that I recently reviewed. Well, aren't you cute? And finally, here he is compared to the 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Infinite Series Wolverine. You know what, Bob? Huh? You're alright. Oh my gosh, you really think so? And you ruined it. Alright, toy fans, well that's my review of the Marvel Superhero Masters Agent Venom figure released by Hasbro in 2015. Overall, I really actually like this figure quite a bit, more so than I expected while he was still in the packaging. He's got a great range of articulation, the paint applications are very clean, the sculpt work that's custom to this figure is nice on the legs and on the arms, and you know, that gun is kind of growing on me a bit. If you're a fan of any of the symbiote characters or Spider-Man universe characters and you collect the Masters, you definitely want to check this guy out. Well, thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoy it. If you like what you saw here, please feel free to rate, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.